adventurezonecomic.com. If you haven't read it, it's our first arc of our first story, Balance. Here There Be Gerblins, and it's full of like cool cartoons. I don't know what else. We got live shows, but they all sold out because y'all are fucking awesome. So I think I'm just gonna let you get back to the rest of the episode. Thank you all so much for listening. The next one is gonna be up on September 6th. So we'll talk to you then. Bye. It's been a few hours since the accident. It was a few very stressful hours, maybe especially for you, Duck, because you were sort of the only one who was sort of fully cognizant during all of this. You rode in the ambulance with Aubrey and Ned to the hospital. Leo came to. He just felt bad about abandoning you all after you went to such great lengths to help try and save his store and the people inside of it. And it's been a few hours. You are now sort of in a recovery room with Aubrey. And I think, Aubrey, at this point, you have recovered from the state that you were in right in the immediate aftermath of the sign falling over. Mm-hmm. And Ned is there also. He is in bed and he's, hooked up to machines and an IV, and I think you're in and out, Ned. I think you are doing better. They have definitely stabilized you. And go ahead and remove one harm. Get yourself just a 3 harm.
Okay.
That is for Ned, not for Duck.
Oh, I'm just listening.
Duck was left.
Active listener.
You all are in the room all together. Leo is waiting out in the hallway. And Mama showed up a few minutes ago after she heard what happened. And that is the scene as you, Duck, and Aubrey and Mama are sort of debriefing about what just happened. And Mama's kind of like got her hand on Ned's like knee, just like pats it a couple times, making sure he knows, like, hang in there, bud. And she says, all right, so walk me through all this again. You all saw some sort of hooded, hooved figure out in the snow, whipped up a snowstorm. Y'all couldn't see, car stalled out, and then you got a heads up that the Pizza Hut sign was about to fall on Leo's general store.
Yeah, that's correct.
And they knew it was you who's going to answer the phone.
Right.
What did they sound like? Did you get any idea who it might have been? Was it somebody you knew? Was it a voice you recognize?
It was a few weeks ago, so I'm having trouble remembering if I recognize the voice. Let me think about it. Hold on. And I pray.
Why?
To Griffin. I pray to Griffin to remind me if I recognize the voice or not.
You didn't. You definitely didn't.
Nah, Mama, I didn't recognize the voice at all.
Well, shit, man, I don't know. I guess we can wait and see if they reach out again. Did it seem like they were friend or foe? I mean, obviously they gave you a heads up, but who's to say they weren't the ones?
Mama, there was magic.
There was magic?
Yeah, the wind was not normal.
Yeah, something strange was going on.
It felt like a lot of stuff, it felt like we were jinxed.
I got a thought. It was a call into a payphone, right? So maybe we could, track it? Find out who's called that payphone or something.
Well, I mean, if nobody else has called it or used that payphone since, we could star 69 it and see.
Hell yeah. That's one. That's hysterical. Secondly, that's a great idea.
I mean, because one of two things. Either it's the person who knew the sign was going to fall because they made it happen, or it's a person who knew something was going to happen who might be able to help us stop more stuff in the future.
Mama says, all right, well, we got to chase any clue we can get. We got to get to that payphone before somebody else, can use it or receive a call. And Jake stands up from the corner of the room and he says, yeah, this is something Jake can do. And he pulls out his board and just goes running out of the room.
Now, Jake, wait. Can you remember the number?
Yeah, it's the star-shaped button and then the funny sex joke.
You got it, Jake. I'm real proud of you. Go get him, partner.
He flicks you, gives you a big thumbs up and a finger gun, and he runs out of the room.
Not 420, Jake. God damn it, he's going to hit.
You're going to want to do 420.
You're going to want to do 420, Jake.
So I would say at this point, like, Aubrey looks over and, like, Ned's eyes are closed, and she says, like, hey, Doc, could you go get me a coffee from the vending machine at the end of the room? I don't care if it's gross vending machine coffee.
Yeah.
I would love it.
Do you want, you want any cream?
No.
Any sugars?
Nope. Just black, please.
What if it has like a mocha? You want a mocha kind of thing?
Just black coffee.
You want
please.
a small or a medium or a large? Do you have any size?
There's tons of options.
Yeah,
Grande? Get a
The biggest
grande.
size
Ned,
they've
you're a
got,
slick
please.
Ned. Okay, hold on. Oh, thank God. Oh, Ned's okay, y'all. He's talking normal and he's all fine. He sounds like Clint McElroy, beloved DJ.
Oh, he's back up.
It's back up.
The biggest they got, Duck. Just the biggest, cheapest, blackest coffee they got.
Make that 2, Duck, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay, Mama, do you want cream or?
No, I'm good. It's just literally the same exact order. Why don't you get? I think Aubrey's trying to have a delicate conversation
Size
with me.
or?
It's going to be a delicate conversation, Duck. Why don't you get?
I just want to make sure you're taken care of. They got those little 6-ounce shafts too.
Mama walks in, opens the door up.
I get it. All right then.
Yeah,
Sorry
go
about
get
that. Yeah, I'll be. Yeah. Damn it.
Duck is out of the room, and now it is just an unconscious Ned and Mama and you.
Should I take my headphones off?
No, because we got stuff.
You can know this shit.
I don't know. It's kind of fun.
Because I want you, the player, to know so we can get back to it and work
Yeah,
the
right,
story.
got it.
We're trying to
we're
tell
all
a story
writing it.
together.
Got it.
But would Ned know? Because he's kind of semi-conscious.
Maybe he will, and you'll see if that comes up. Maybe that's why you're in the fucking room, Clinton.
We're playing this together. It's all happening in real time.
Would you
It's like
fucking
it's
just
like,
write
It's
a
like everybody
goddamn
just
story
forgot.
with
It's like
me?
everybody just fucking forgot.
I'm really into character.
Write a fucking story with me. We are New York Times best-selling authors.
Okay. All right. Mama is here alone with you, Aubrey. She says, all right, Aubrey, what's going on? You seem really shaken up. Obviously, it was a tough night, but did something happen?
Mama, do you remember when we met at the magic show and you saw me do magic and I told you it was the first time?
Yeah, you're talking about actual magic, right?
Yeah. I don't think it was the first time.
What do you mean? What did you remember something? What else? What other time has there been, Aubrey?
When I was 18, the night I was leaving home. Someone broke into our house. These 2 men. I don't know. I was running to see what the sound was. I tripped and I hit my head on the banister of the stairs. And when I woke up, the house was on fire. And I think that was my fault.
Shit, Aubrey. I mean, do you know that for sure, Aubrey, or are you just?
I mean,
is this just the guilt, maybe of
the fire started on the second floor where I was, and they were breaking in downstairs, and I've never really thought about that before now. It's like I can almost remember it.
I mean, that might be relevant. If that's true, Aubrey, then that means that your magical abilities don't have anything to do with you being in Kepler or close to the gate or close to Sylvain. A lot of sort of our theories about that are shot. But I'm sorry about your house burning down. That must have been hard.
My mom died in fire. Dad got out, but my mom was collapsed.
I don't think she knows how to respond to that. She just stands there kind of mouth open for a bit and wraps you back up in that blanket and I think she doesn't know what to do because she brought you here and then she disappeared for a couple months and then she showed back up. And I don't know what your relationship has been like since then, but I think she takes a beat and then she leans down and she just wraps the blanket around you and gives you a little kiss on the top of the head. And she says, I'm going to go see what's taking Duck so long with that coffee. Okay, before we do anything else, I have a super, super, super important question for Ned. And that question's going to determine some stuff based on what the answer is. But how conscious, how aware, how much of that did Ned actually hear?
I think he heard all of it. I think he's not exactly in a coma, but I think he's out of it enough that he's not feigning unconsciousness. But I think he heard the whole story. Then I think Ned has just had a pretty horrible, extremely horrible realization. Yeah. Then I think in this sort of like in and out of consciousness state that you're in, you hear all of this and you are taken back to that night. And I think you just see little bits and pieces of it in this state. I think you probably bonked your noggin something fierce when you did your jetpack stunt. And so it's not coming to you in one sort of linear thread, but you remember pulling up to the house and you remember doing a quick lap around it to find the best entrance, to check for security. You remember going inside. You remember carefully taking things. You remember getting caught, and you remember the car crash with your partner during your speedy escape. As Aubrey speaks from what seems like miles away, and you realize it was her house that you robbed that night. Hey, Duck, you're out in the hallway, right? You were getting coffee? Yeah. I think you see Leo out there. Leo looks pretty shaken up as you come back with the 2 cups of Joe. He's sitting there and he's kind of got his head in his hands.
Hey, Leo, how's it going? You all right?
He looks up, he kind of wipes his nose. He says, "No, Doc, I'm not doing good. Very good at all. Thanks for asking. I know, I'm sorry. I shouldn't yell. I'm sorry, that was mean of me. That was my fucking store, Duck, and it's gone now. I mean, there's parts of it still standing, and maybe there's a few, boxes of cereal that didn't get smushed, but that was my life, Duck. When I came to Kepler, I moved down here from New York, and I didn't have anything, and I had just gotten out of like sort of a long-term gig, and then I didn't have nothing, and that was hard for me, and I didn't know what my purpose was, and I found that store, and that was my purpose, and it was a good purpose, but fuck, Doc, man, it just sucks.
Yeah, there's no argument about that.
I guess I'm still around to maybe rebuild, and I guess that's entirely thanks to you, so I knew that people were going to be good neighbors here in Kepler, Duck, but I didn't expect that kind of treatment, so I don't know what to say, man. I don't know how I can repay you.
Well, it's the least I could do. I'm sorry, about the store. What about, I see people what about kickstarting? Is that a thing? Can you kickstart it?
Like a motorcycle? What do you, like?
Nah, I think, I don't actually know. I just see sometimes when there's a fire or whatever, or some people kickstart it. I don't know how you get it on there, or if you just ask them, or what.
He says, I guess I'll go to the library and see what I can find out. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get a lawyer, and I don't know nothing about law stuff, but it seems like I might be able to get a little bit of money out of the Pizza Hut, right?
Yeah, I mean, Pizza Hut's got. Hey, do you not have insurance?
I do, yeah, I do, but it's going to take a little bit for that to come through. In the meantime, maybe I could get a few free personal panzers out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I can do for you. I'll split you some of the zars.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Leo, you're being kind of despondent for a guy who maybe just has to wait a little while to get a check to fix up his store. You know, you're seeming out here in the hallway a little bit like doom and gloom, when really what you got is a kind of an unplanned vacation. You know, we'll get up and running again. Just let the gears of State Farm start turning.
I mean, you got a point there, Duck. It's been my experience that when you find your calling in this life, it doesn't make any sense to put off doing it. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head back to the shop. I better take stock of what's still standing. But you take care of yourself, Duck. I don't know what Kepler'd do without you.
All right, fair enough.
So now you have a bond with Leo Tarkisian.
Life bond. Can't wait to summon him.
You get his summon crystal. You throw it to the ground and shatters.
I take it to the fairy godmother, and she...
Mm-hmm. And I think as he walks by, he brushes past Jake, who comes running back in. He's got a lot of snow up on his pants. He's got his board that he's got slung over his back. And he runs up to you, Duck, and he says, "Oh, God.
You okay?
Oh, my God. Yeah, I ran really fast, and I snowboarded, I cross-country snowboarded some of the way. But I got to the payphone.
Well, what's the number?
I had the phone book, so I ran the number in there. And I found it.
You ran the... What?
Yeah, I went through all the numbers one by one, and I found the phone number.
Wait, what? No wonder he's tired. That would have taken days.
Is that weird? I just went through it really fast.
Oh, God, he's a beholder.
So oh, my God. Can I have... He takes one of the cups of coffee and just, like, slams it.
Yeah,
says,
go for it, man. Shit.
That hurt my mouth really bad. But... the number that called you, it was from the Eastwood Campground and RV Park. That was the... I'm gonna fucking die, man.
Where?
Eastwood Campground and our RV Park. That's what the phone number said.
Is that where we first met Pigeon?
No. Duck, I think you would know this as more of sort of a long-term RV park. Not quite like a trailer park, but for folks who maybe want to like walk part of the trail, like the Appalachian Trail, and leave their Winnebago or what have you in a secure spot. This is sort of more of a long-term rental place.
All right.
And as he tells you the source of the telephone call, you hear the phone ring inside of Ned's room.
Aubrey answers it.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello?
Aubrey, you hear that voice that you heard earlier this evening on the payphone, and this voice says, "Well done. I have to say, as someone who's tried to defy the whims of fate myself a fair number of times, I didn't think you'd actually pull it off."
Listen, hi. Thank you for your help. Who are you?
That is a complicated question, Aubrey, one that will make a lot more sense when we meet tomorrow afternoon at my home, once Ned is back up and on his feet again. My name is Indrid Cold. That was the name I was born with in Sylvain. It's a nice name, I've always thought, perhaps a bit on the nose, a bit, supernatural sounding, but there's nothing I can do about that, can I? But I think you're asking a different question. I'm known as something different to the folks of this area. It's a nickname I picked up when I was younger and a bit more careless about my public persona. I don't prefer this title myself, but, well, I'm the Mothman. See you tomorrow.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.